Welcome, everybody. Episode 6 of Three's Company Podcast. I'm your host, Adam Joseph Collins, 1515. Jordan Whitney's with us. Jordan, go ahead.
What up, guys? Horns here. Glad to be back. Number 6, excited to do it. Want to bring it over to our man behind the keyboards, the man that I absolutely despise. Was it 5 weeks in a row?
Episode 6. That's how many times you've lost to or Vegas this year, isn't it?
Jeez. Every podcast, I'm pretty sure he can come on here and say he lost to Vegas.
Yeah, just 5, I think. PatOLeary, how you doing, Pat?
Hey, how's it going, boys?
Can't forget our other main man that's in the background. He's back from a fresh trip to Walmart, he said. He's down at the Walmart. Out of Marshyll.
What's going on, boys?
Did you wear your mask?
No, I did not.
Oh, come on, buddy.
Don't wear that shit. I seen somebody driving down the street the other day with P100 cartridges and gloves on in their vehicle. Like a half mask.
I don't know if you guys know, but in Alberta now, it's now mandatory to wear it wherever you go, on site, at work, everywhere.
Okay, I can understand that in public, but why do people wear their masks in their car?
Because the air filters through the car, and you never know what's going through the car. I don't know. I don't wear a mask. Yeah, glad to be here, boys.
Yeah.
This is another Monday awesome podcast we're doing. You know, we usually like to start out with what's in your cup. So I guess I'll get it going. I'm going light today, boys. Just a couple crispy boys, a little Bud Light. Had a rough couple nights on the sauce, so I decided to slow it down a bit. Adam, what are you sipping tonight?
I got a 40-pounder of Smirnoff vodka here that I'm just mixing with a little bit of Fresca. I don't know if you guys can get Fresca in the States.
I love Fresca.
Yeah, I love Fresca. So I mixed that with the vodka, and it's no headache, no hangover.
Jesus, love it. Pat, what are you sipping on there, bud?
I got these new blue lobster rockets.
Explain.
Pretty sure.
I'm very intrigued.
I'm pretty sure Marshyll can explain a little bit more, but I'm pretty sure they're Nova Scotia, right, Marshyll?
Yeah, it's like a Nova Scotia-based brewery. They just make it's like cooler in a can. It's the rocket flavor, so like blue raspberry.
Like the rocket popsicle.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Oh, Jesus.
You know, throwback like kids, but get drunk like adults, right?
Yeah, we have those here. Smirnoff makes them, though.
Yeah. These are like them. These are kind of like them, but like Nova Scotia's version.
So they vodka-based or gin-based?
Vodka.
Oh, okay.
Nice. Adam, what are you sipping on there, bud?
I'm sipping on the same as you, man. Some crispy Bud Lights.
Can't go wrong with the buds.
Nah, you can't.
You can grab a glass of water if you want. Same thing.
Yeah. 36 pack for what? $26 here?
No.
Oh, let's not rub that in.
Really?
Yeah, dude.
Oh, I thought you were talking about 36 pack of water for $26.
Well, same thing.
Oh no. I would never pay that much for water.
You just did.
Yeah.
Kind of, sort of.
Yeah, American Bud Light compared to Canadian Bud Light, you might as well just drink water.
Oh yeah, it's like your fucking temperature system.
Yeah, our temperature system. You mean the temperature system that literally everybody else in the world uses?
Yeah. It just makes sense. It really does.
All right. Well, we got an exciting podcast for you guys today. We got 2 special guests, PatOLeary, Peyton Yoder. Tyler's we're going to call him the starting goalie of the Vegas Golden Knights now.
After last
Let's not listen to anything he says. None of it says is true.
Full disclaimer, we don't support any of the following messages. And we got Peyton Yoder. He's the owner and starting goaltender for the Washington Capitals. So we're going to bring them on a little later. First, we're going to flip it over to Jordan. He's going to touch on the games that we mentioned that were our highlight games of last week, and we're going to check in and see how they went. Jordan, take it away.
Yeah, man. We had, Tampa and Jersey.
Yeah, Tampa made a new acquisition this week, boys.
Oh,
they made a new trade this week. They brought in a solid guy to help them solidify their roster.
Who's that?
Waterboy.
I didn't see any big trades for Tampa.
Oh, hey, listen. Man. They brought somebody in. They brought somebody in this week that can fill the fuck out of that stats site after the games.
He can fill the fucking water bottles.
That's right.
At least somebody will get it done.
Make sure Tampa's jock strap is washed and Justin Goalie God's fucking water bottle is filled. Don't worry about that.
Nobody's going to complain. Everybody wants to play with that.
So yeah, Tampa took Jersey 5-3. And then who do we have on Friday?
There was a Pittsburgh Carolina game, wasn't it?
Was it? Yeah, it was. And Pittsburgh went away with that one.
Pittsburgh went off this week. They beat a few. They beat a few big teams this week. They had a little problem taking pictures at the end of the games in most of their games, but
we had a little problem. We'll touch on that a little bit later. But yeah. Then Saturday, I think we did a doubleheader of Arizona playing Nashville and this clown over here. And we lost both.
Mm-hmm. Well, it sounds right.
It was really upsetting. There was one goal, and my goalie smashed his controller, and oh Jesus!
I'm sorry to hear that.
Just couldn't bounce back, and then we rebounded and took a
Tampa Bay
undefeated against Arizona.
Undefeated against Arizona. Yeah. But yeah. Those are the matchups from last week. So
perfect. So speaking of pictures, we're going to touch on this again. This is the last time we're going to touch on it because I, quite frankly, I'm sick of talking about it. It's not a hard concept. We take pictures after the game. We send them in. They're not sent in within 24 hours. You're not going to get your win. Okay, it's simple as that. Your stats aren't entered in 24 hours. You're not going to get your win. We're not here to hold people's hands. I got into a long debate this week with one of our members yesterday about how he says he hasn't been given a warning. He hasn't been given a final warning. He wanted me to give him a final warning again and then enforce the rule after I give him his final warning. That's not how this league runs, fellas. Okay, we're grown-ass adults. We can figure our things out. When we ask rules to be followed and then we give you guys 6 weeks, we're 40 games into the season. We are halfway through the season and we still have people that can't follow those rules. It's pretty simple. So what's going to happen is we're just going to stop doing the favors. Okay, if you can't post your inactive properly in the Discord, then it's not going to get actioned. We're not going to come back to you and say, hey, just an FYI, you didn't post this again properly. It's not going to happen. We have too many other things to worry about because we have lives as well. Just follow the process. It makes everybody's life easier. In terms of pictures, there's no cell phone pictures. There's no, oh, I'm sorry, my guys didn't realize, they didn't follow. I've told them 100 times, but they still forgot. If they forgot, that's on you. You're the owner. Mm-hmm. Okay? And when they say, why didn't we get our win? Why didn't we get our stats? You turn on them and say, because you didn't get the pictures. And that doesn't mean if you take a cell phone picture and tell me, oh, but it's clearly legible. The rule isn't you can take a cell phone picture as long as it's clearly legible. The rule is no cell phone pictures. All right? It's a pretty heated topic. I understand. You know, things happen. EA servers screw up. Those are issues we can deal with if you come to us. But not just negligently taking cell phone pictures and throwing them in there and saying, oh, sorry, we'll get it next time. That stops. We're done. No more warnings.
Definitely. And coming to us, to touch on that, Adam, real quick. Sorry to intervene. Don't come to me 10 minutes before 9:00. Like, I've been in quarantine for 19 weeks now, not doing anything from 9:00 in the morning until, you know, I'm getting ready for my game as well. So if you have a problem, bring it to me earlier. If there's something going on, bring it to me earlier. I'm pretty sure, you know, bring it to you as well, or Pat or Marshyll or any of us. We can help you out with that. But none of this, hey, leave it open for this long. Like, I can't do it. 9:00 is cut off. You get 24 hours. It takes you 5 minutes. You know, we touched on this last week. You get 5 minutes, you input your game, you're done. Mm-hmm. You know,
it takes me about 5 minutes to input games for both teams. If we win 95% of the time, if my team that I'm playing for has won, I will put in the stats for the other team that we played too. Mm-hmm. And if you guys are all, and if you think I'm cheating people out of points, all the information is there. You can go look. You can go look at the stats that I entered for your players and say, come back to me and say, hey, you know what? I think you missed this one. Because I might have made a mistake. I'm only human. But chances are I didn't, and I was doing you a favor. The more and more you freak out at me for doing you a favor, the less and less I want to do you that favor.
Naturally.
having said that, another thing that irritates me a little bit, and it came up again yesterday, is people not wanting to get the information or find the answers to their questions when we spend a lot of time putting this information available for people to see and to read and to understand. I had somebody tell me yesterday that he doesn't want to look at the rule book. It's easier for him to just ask me and get the answer. Fair enough. You know what's also easier for me? For me to not just answer you. But I'm not going to do that because that's not who I am and that's not what our league is based on. You're going to get an answer, but my answer is going to be directing you to where you can get your answer. We are 40 games into the season. If you don't know where to get your answers by now, then I don't know what else to tell you. The Google Doc, the first page of the Google Doc that we use, that we've told you guys is the Bible, tells you what everybody in this league's role in terms of the admins is. So if you have an issue with rosters, you go to somebody on the roster committee. If you have an issue that you think something discipline needs to deal with, you go to somebody on the discipline committee. If you've got an issue with stats, you go to somebody on the stats board, or you go to Jordan, who's the head of stats. Okay. If you've got an issue with the podcast, well, that's too bad for you. No, I'm kidding. You just go to Patrick. Okay. We make the information readily available for you. Myself and Alex Budden, we've been in this league since season 1. Okay. So we've helped build this league to what it is, along with Jordan Whitney, along with Jordan Mugford, PatOLeary, Adam Marshyll coming in this year to help us out. But the reason we're overseers, or what they call overseers, is because we've put all this footprint that's there. We've worked on this entire league to get it to where it is. So if there is a question that comes up that we don't have an answer for, then it's something we got to deal with. But 95% of the time, we have an answer for it. And it's because somebody's asking us a question when they didn't go to the right department to ask the question they needed to ask.
100%. Well said, Adam.
Yeah. Also, another thing is, a lot of guys are. If you tell them you need, give them a couple minutes. I had a couple guys come to me, say, yeah, okay, I'm just driving home. Give me a few minutes. And then I read in the admin chat that they're spamming these other admins. Like, why can't you just wait the couple minutes? Just give me some time. We do have lives too. You guys are busy sometimes. We have stuff to do too, and run this site. We are pretty busy. So, I mean, just give us some time, work with us. We'll get it done.
That is one of my biggest pet peeves, and I got into an argument last night with, not an argument, so to speak, more of a back and forth, because he decided to spam message me while I'm in the middle of a league game about an issue that was going on in his game. Now, I'm not a goalie by any means, but my team asked me to play goalie last night. So my focus was on playing goalie. I had 17 messages. Bang, 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 bang in a row. 17 messages. Every single person on our admin team is on a team or runs a team or both. If you're spam messaging somebody when they're in the middle of a league game, that means you're spam messaging somebody that's playing. If you're not getting an answer, it doesn't mean continue to message. We will answer you. But we are playing in these leagues as well. So,
yeah, and to that, if you're looking for an answer, you can go into the Discord and tag all the admins. So that way somebody that's not playing can have a look at it and they can help you out. Right?
Definitely.
And you will find you get your answers a lot quicker if you're nice and polite to the admins.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like a bull in a china shop, you're going to get met with the horns, boys. I'm telling you that right now.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, that's enough negativity for that.
Yes.
No more cell pictures, and that's it. We're done with it.
Just gonna be put in the orifice, that's it.
So as soon as they put it in, that's it. Please, very, very pleased to have our first guest here. He's proven to be one of the league's top goalies so far, halfway through the season. We've got PatOLeary from the Vegas Golden Knights. He's got a record of 12 wins, 1 OT loss in 13 games played, 2.00 goals against average, 768 save percentage. He's also won a bronze medal in this past World Cup. He's also what we consider one of the top 5 in the running now for the Vezina at the end of the year, halfway through the season. Welcome to the podcast, Tyler.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome, buddy. What's going on?
Not too much. What about you?
Just another day in paradise, man.
Hold on. My brother's worse than I am, so I gotta hit him with it. What's in your cup there, Tyler?
Hey.
I'm drinking a Blue Lobster Rocket right now.
Yeah,
Oh,
that'll
yeah.
there we go.
Ah,
Coincidence?
Yeah.
Coincidence? No.
Go ahead and send some down for me, yeah?
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
just had a conversation with somebody today about shipping alcohol between America and the States, or Canada and the States. Apparently, it's pretty hard. It's not very easy.
It's expensive. I helped one of my buddies move back to Canada, and he left me basically his entire wine collection.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, I can mail it to you. He's like, dude, it'll be like twice as much for what it is. I'm like, all right, well, I don't have that money. I guess I'll just
I'll just
drink
keep
it.
it.
Right on. Well, Tyler, like we say, we're a pleasure to have you here. Basically, let's start off with what are your keys to success in a threes game and net? Because I've played net and it's fucking hard.
It's just basically taking your short side and trusting your D man for your cross crease.
Yeah.
Was my biggest thing.
Big-
Short side's my fault.
Big trust in the D man, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had to play last night against Arizona, and it was not. It didn't go the way I wanted it to. It wasn't too bad. But,
Turned out well for our side, though.
so this notion that I hear from a lot of other goalies is they tell me to act like the right side of my controller doesn't exist in goalie. Is this true?
Yeah, I don't use much of my right side.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
Zeke, pay attention, buddy.
Well, I don't think Zeke has a right side to his controller anymore.
No, he broke it. He's like, I can't slide. I'm like, good, stay in the middle of the net.
I do find that hurts me a lot, and I find myself sliding a lot. Like, I've watched a few games Tyler played. He stands up a lot, and I find myself sliding. I might have to take some advice from that.
Yeah, I think I am too, because I'm playing one a net a week for my squad, but I'm a slider. I like to make those big saves.
Me too. I'm the same way.
It looks cool. I'm all about the flash, But if it means getting the W, I'll take my right hand off the controller.
So Tyler, what you being new to the league and all, what are some of the things you like about the league?
How competitive it is, how well set up it is.
The fact that you get to beat on Arizona 6 times a year.
Yeah, basically.
He didn't even play. He's played 5 times already, and Pat sat in there all 5 times. Come on.
Well, I gotta play you. The admins play the admins, bro.
We already had this conversation on the last podcast because you play your top goalie against the top team. So what does it tell you, Jordan?
Yeah, and you're not a top team, so I'm not a top goalie.
Wow.
Right on. Well, what else was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. In your short experience, Tyler, when you get into a party and you're about to play a game, who do you think has the sexiest voice?
The sexiest voice. Okay. Well, I don't talk much, but who I usually hear through my TV, I'd probably have to go with Jago.
Oh, Jago.
Why is it Jago every week?
Every week, Jago's brought up.
I need to play with this guy.
All right. Well, I'm sure Jordan's got a question for you because he hits every one of our guests with it. So.
All right. Who in the league that you know has the cutest eyes?
I'm definitely going to have to go with Marshyll.
Oh!
Is that the second time?
That's
That
twice.
is the second time. That is the second time, yeah.
And by brothers, too. Collusion?
Yeah, but I live with him.
No, that's a fun question. I love doing that one. If you were taking a penalty shot against somebody, who would you not want it to be?
Well, I think I only let one in so far, and it was someone off Tampa. I think it was Silky or Skillsy or whatever his name is. He's the only one to score on me.
Silky, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
All
Well,
right.
that's before they made their big acquisition this week.
Yeah, big trade.
Pat, you got anything for? What's
I
up?
say big in terms of size, not in playability.
All right. Well, I guess he's on my team, so I probably guess the answer. But all right. So we're in Game 7 situation in overtime, and you got to pick somebody on your team to take a penalty shot for you. Who are you gonna pick?
I definitely have to go with SRFD.
Oh, really?
The flog.
Wow.
Wow.
If he
Wow.
hears this, he's gonna run with it.
I thought we were going to get another Jago shout out for sure. But all right. Well, Tyler, we appreciate you coming on the podcast, man, and we hope to be talking to you towards the end of the year in the Vesna conversation as well. You're in there now for sure. Hopefully, you're still there at the end of the year. Keep up the good playing.
definitely.
We're glad to have you in the league.
buddy. Thank you.
Thank you. It was Tyler O'Leary, now starting goaltender of the Vegas Golden Knights. Trades open on Tuesday, so I'm sure Patrick will make a trade there to figure that out. But
Yeah. I'm up for trades here, I guess.
I'm
Anybody
looking
need
for
a
a fourth
backup
pick
goalie?
for Pat.
You're going to Arizona, and I'm going to Vegas. Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah,
I'll give
that's
you a
apparently
fifth-round
all the
pick,
goalies with the broken controllers go over there, so I should go there.
give you a 5th round pick and one of them rocket things that you guys drink.
Who breaks a controller, man? Come on, I'm so mad.
This week I feel like it, honestly, man. This week's been my worst week for sure.
I don't know. To me, I think EA did something fucked up with the last update.
There's something fishy with EA.
Even the CR that you gain and lose from games seems to be all messed up too. I played last night against a team of all thousands, and we only lost by 1 goal, and I lost 17 CR. And I'm only 720 CR. And these guys were all over 1,000. I still lost 17. The next game we played was against a different team. They were all over 900. And we beat them. And I only gained 6.
Yeah, it's a little messed up.
It's EA logic.
Yeah.
Makes perfect sense in EA's head.
Right. Well, let's not keep our other guests waiting too much. We got Peyton Yoder. He's the owner and goaltender of the Washington Capitals. He's been kind of on Jordan's ass here to get him on the show, so we figured why not? This is a good time to bring him on. He's got 15 games played, 7 wins, 6 losses, 3.83 goals against average, and a 763 save percentage with 2 shutouts this year. I've played with Peyton in 6s before on our Carolina team. He's always a good teammate to have on your team, and he just loves playing the game. He approached me this year about owning. I said, why not? And he seems to have built a decent squad there in Washington, one that's going to be definitely in a playoff spot and probably give some teams a little bit of a fight there in the playoffs. Peyton, welcome to the podcast.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me on here.
What's up, Hayden?
You came highly recommended by Jordan. He wanted to bring you on.
Yeah.
It's good when we can get you on.
We've been chatting quite a bit, and seemed like good dude. He's you've been listening to the podcast. Much respect. So he wanted to come on.
But did he subscribe?
Oh, I'm subscribed.
I can confirm.
What is it? Week 3, he wanted to come on. He said, "If I have a perfect week, I want you to bring me on."
It's not a perfect
It was not a perfect week. No, we kept very close track of that. When you put down the challenge to us, we kept very close track. Tampa almost had a perfect week this week. That's all I'm just gonna say. We lost Arizona in overtime, but they had to put me in net.
Go Yotes! Throw out the shrimp for the boys.
But we did get 15 of 16 points. So Peyton, pleasure to have you on the show. You being new to the league and all, if you could be commissioner for a day, if you could be one of the admins for a day, what is something that you would like to see changed?
I don't know, to be honest. You guys run it pretty smoothly.
Perfect.
That was actually really, really nice, and it kind of really touched my heart. So I'm just gonna cheers to that one.
Speaking of, okay, let's roll off of that. Who's your favorite admin?
My favorite,
you can only pick one.
That's a tough one. That's a tough
one.
I'm gonna have to go with my teammate Collins here.
See Jordan?
Wow.
See Jordan?
Yeah,
you see Jordan?
Wow.
You gotta go with the guy that brought you in the league, man. Come on.
Don't come at me with any more questions there, bud.
Yeah, me either.
I wouldn't be here without him.
Yeah, perfect. See?
Wow.
Real recognizes real. You need to know that, okay? So
I was doing a dance and everything. I was like, "Oh, it's coming." No.
in playing goalie, Peyton, what do you find the hardest to do?
Breakaways for sure.
Breakaways are a pain in the ass for goalies, especially in threes.
Yeah, you
It's-
get a good player coming in. He makes like a fake, and you never know if he's gonna just stay with it or he's gonna go back. Pretty much impossible.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a tough one.
That's the hardest part that I've had. I'm not good at goalie by any means. I'm starting to play it a little bit more. Just because I want to try something new and challenge myself to do something different. And that seems to be the one part of my game that I can never get down. The penalty shots and the breakaways. I always guess wrong.
Yeah,
I always guess wrong, and
tough.
no matter how well I track the puck, and even if I feel like I'm in position, the puck still seems to go in. So.
Sounds like Pat.
Oh, really, Marshyll? That's the last game you get fucking played. You can ride that bench.
Just to let everybody know, Vegas is falling apart. So
Patrick's elite, though. He told us that up front.
We're a team falling apart and we still beat you?
Wait,
You must be
take your
fucking
shot
in the
first.
dumps.
Man, no, we still good. We still good. Don't worry.
Okay. So, Peyton, in your experience in all the leagues that you've played, doesn't have to be this league, but when you get into a party with the boys for a game, who do you think has the sexiest voice?
Jeez. I'm gonna go with Mark McKillican.
Oh, really?
Ooh, Mark.
I mean, I
I like
heard that
Mark.
one before.
Good guy.
I haven't
Yeah,
played.
yeah.
I haven't played with them, so I'm gonna have to take your guys' word for it. I haven't played with
He
them,
was,
but
he was on our Detroit team a couple years back. Seasons
Okay.
back, not years.
Yeah, he's a great guy.
But you haven't been in a party with me, so I'm just gonna let that one slide. I like Mark. Good guy.
You know what?
sober Jordan is not as sexy as drunk Jordan.
Definitely
I'll tell you that
not.
right now.
Oh
I will
my
tell you that
God.
right now. When Jordan gets a few bevies into him and starts singing the Broadway show tunes, then you know
Whoa.
then you're in for a night.
Who doesn't like hairspray, man? I'm just gonna throw that out there.
We should, at the end of all this, we should take everybody that we said that have the sexiest voice in the parties and bring it into a party and determine this once and for all.
Determined.
I don't think I don't think I could be that hard ever. So I will sit out on that one. I don't think that's
Jesus
good.
Christ.
That's good for me to be in there.
Well, that's what I got for Peyton. I'm sure Jordan's got a couple questions he wants to hit
Yeah,
him with.
buddy. So if you were taking a penalty shot, who is the one guy you wouldn't want to take a penalty shot against?
Against?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I couldn't score on anyone. To be
I think he
honest.
means like to shoot.
No.
on you, right?
I mean, who's shooting on you?
Oh, on me? Jeez. That's tough. I'd probably go Ethan Ferguson, Nuxie. He
Really?
rocked me, yeah.
Oh wow.
That's a
Okay.
name that I haven't heard in a while. He
Me
was in
either.
our league for a while, and then he kind of dropped off. I haven't heard from him really in a little while.
Yeah, right. If you could build a forward line in front of you with no one on your team right now, who would it be?
No one on my team.
No one on your team.
I'm gonna obviously go with goalie gods. I'll probably. Am I goalie or in front?
Yeah,
of
you're
Yeah, you're goal. Yeah.
Stealth strike.
Ooh.
Who else? Not on my team. And probably. Oh, that's tough, man.
Well, you got two solid guys right there. Neither one of them has an R2 button. They have an L2 button, but they don't have an R2 button. You need somebody to pass them the puck now.
Oh, you're getting the smoke after this now.
I was just looking against who I played. I'd have to go with Carolina. I'd go honestly Dotsy or Rogers maybe.
Datsy. I like Datsy. Good guy.
Yeah,
Especially apparently that Doutsy plays defense now all of a sudden.
Yeah, apparently. Well, that's all I got. Pat, you got anything?
Well, you kind of stole my question there. So, all right. So, in a Game 7 situation, you're in overtime, and somebody on your team gets to take a penalty shot. Who are you picking?
anyone but cheddar cheese.
Ooh.
But you got to pick somebody. That's
I wouldn't pick that candy ass Kyle Gilbert either.
I love Tretta. Oh.
Jeez. You guys are giving me tough questions. I'd probably go with Alice Frag, Tinky 97.
Okay.
He's new. He's my GM's son. He's the GOAT. Best player on our team.
That's Ricky's for son?
Yeah,
Oh, really? Nice.
best player on our team. For sure.
Beauty. I played with that guy before. I just said beauty. Fucks.
Yeah, you did. Take a drink.
Doing so good, too. All right, Peyton. Well, it's a pleasure to have you on, man. Good luck the rest of the way. And hopefully we'll see you in the playoffs.
Yeah, thanks for hopping on, buddy.
Yeah, thanks for having me, boys. See ya.
Yeah, if you
All
need
right,
any
Peyton.
questions answered, don't come to me.
All right, I won't.
For me.
Don't go to Marshyll because he won't answer you like he doesn't answer me.
All right, that was Peyton Yoder, the owner and starting goaltender for the Washington Capitals. It was great to have him on. And I've never seen him play. Well, I saw him play goalie once in threes. We played against him and he beat us. But I know he's a great goalie in sixes. I'm sure it's the same in threes. Okay, now we're going to get to the important topic of the day, our playoff format. So the admins got together this week and we had a lot of discussion back and forth about what to do with in terms of playoffs and how we're going to deal with the 14 roster size plus what looks like is going to be 4, maybe even 5 TCs as well. So what we've come up with, first off, is there's going to be one more auto assign, and that's going to be around the last week prior to the trade deadline. That'll be the last set of auto assigns that everybody will get for the year. Then basically you'll be rolling into the playoffs with your 14 guys and your TCs. That it should give you at minimum 16 to 17 players for a threes game, which in our opinion is a lot of guys for when you only need to put 4 on the ice.
Yep.
So what we've come up with for the playoffs is if you're going to play player for the playoffs, you're allowed 2 games to play. You're allowed to play 2 games in the first 6. And if you're going to play goalie, you're allowed to play 3 games in the first 6. Now for goalie, if you're going to take advantage of the 3 games played rule, all 3 games have to be played in net. If you play 1 game that's outside of being goalie, so if you play 1 game at center, you are now limited to only 2 games. You are not allowed to play 3. And I don't care if you've played 40 games as goalie all year and you just happen to play out once in the playoffs. As soon as you play that game outside of the crease, you are now limited to the 2 games. Away team. The away team must submit their lines 2 hours before game time. So if your game time is 9 p.m. and you're the away team, your line needs to be submitted at 7 p.m. Eastern. Of course, this is all Eastern time. Our whole league is run on Eastern time zone. 10 o'clock, you need to submit by 8 o'clock Eastern time. There is a section on Discord that says playoff lines. Pretty self-explanatory. That's where your playoff lines get posted. We'd like to see the line get posted and you tag the owner of the opponent you're playing, or you tag the team that you're playing. And that's it. That's all you need to do. Once that's posted, that's it.
Now, real quick, sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Why do we do this?
I was getting to that.
Okay, all right. No, I'm just asking questions. You know,
the reason we ask for away teams to submit lines is in a video game world, there's no way for us to give a team home ice advantage. Okay? So what we came up with a few years back was actually Alex Budden's idea, and I think it's a great idea, is in order to reward those teams that had a good season and finished in the top 4 in the conference and got the home ice advantage, we've given them the ability to see the lines that they're going to be playing for games 1 and 2. So it was our way of trying to give the home team advantage, an actual home team advantage, without doing anything physical to the game. And it's worked out well. There is 2 stipulations to that, right? First off, if you don't submit your line prior to 2 hours before the game, you get a penalty shot. Okay? If you change your line after it's posted or after the 2-hour mark, so if you post your lines and then an hour before game time, somebody says, "Oh, I can't play," and you have to replace him, that's fine. You're allowed to replace him, but it's going to cost you a penalty shot.
For per change.
per time of change. So if you change 2 people out of the line at the same time, it's only 1 penalty shot. But if you make 2 changes at 2 separate times, it's 2 penalty shots. You understand?
Yes.
Okay. Now, if you do not post your lines and you get into the game and you have not posted your lines, it's 2 penalty shots. You get a penalty shot for not posting it on time, and then you get a penalty shot for not posting them at all. So even if you're late, still post those lines because it's only going to be 1 penalty shot and not 2. You don't want to start the goal. You don't want to start the game at a chance of being down 2-0 before there's even 10 seconds played. Playoff format. We're going to touch on this real quickly. You'll notice that there's 2 teams in each conference that have stars beside them. Those are considered the division leaders. Now, we have divisions in order for seeding. But the way we do playoffs is we don't do it with the, traditional wild card, 2 wild cards, and the top 2 teams play the wild cards and this and that. We do the traditional, the old traditional 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, 3 versus 6, 4 versus 5. For argument's sake right now, because Tampa and New Jersey are leading in the Eastern Conference, those are the 1 and 2 teams. New Jersey and Tampa are in 2 different conferences, so that's why they are considered 1 and 2, because they are leading their respective conferences. So they are always going to be grouped there. If the 3rd place team happens to be Carolina and they have more points than New Jersey, or let's say Boston, for example, and they happen to have more points than New Jersey, Boston is still going to be considered the 3rd seed because they're 2nd in the conference behind Tampa Bay. I hope that's clear with everybody. If it's not, you can PM me. But it's pretty self-explanatory. If you look, it's already given to you on MSO. If you go there and you look, you'll see Tampa will play the 8th seed, New Jersey will play the 7th seed, Carolina, and so on, so on, so on. Does that make sense, Jordan?
No, it doesn't. I don't understand that.
It's the same.
I understand it, but I don't understand it. But I do. Yes, I've been through it 4 times now, but it still doesn't make sense to me.
It's the old
coming from baseball.
It's the old format that the NHL used to use prior to going to the divisional matchups.
Yeah. Well, you got to understand, I didn't start watching hockey until '99,
yeah.
So
this would have been the format they used in '99.
Yes.
Yeah. So your 2 division leaders will always be seeded 1 and 2, irregardless of the amount of points that they have. So somebody below them from a different division may have more points than the 2nd seed, but because that 2nd seed is leading their respective division, they're going to get 2nd. Right?
Yeah. No, it makes sense. Gotcha.
Okay. So that's all we're going to touch on with the respect to the playoffs. 2 games played for players, 3 games played for goalies, as long as all 3 are played in net. Anyone can play Game 7. The games played thing goes out the window in Game 7. Because we want to see these teams have their best lines. If it hits a Game 7, you want to have your best line out there. So any Game 7, throw anybody you need to throw out there. Away teams must submit their lines in the Discord channel, and there is penalties if you don't. All this will be written up and given to all the owners prior to the playoffs starting. But really, outside of the games played rule change, everything else has been the same as it has been for the last 3 or 4 seasons. With respect to, instead of having to PM your lineup to the other team and an admin, now you just have to drop it in the Discord channel, 1 message, 1 time, and then that's it. Okay? And the same is said for games 5, 6, and 7. So if you get into a game 5 and the series is tied 2-2, and there's a chance that there's going to be a game 7 that night, because when we get into the playoffs, you guys will notice that games 5 and 6 and 7 are always played on the same night. We don't wait till the following night to play the game 7. Yes, the game 7 line does have to be posted prior to game time. You cannot wait until your game 6 ends and then post it. You do have to still, the away team has to post prior to the 2-hour deadline. Like I said, we're going to touch again. This is halfway through the season. We wanted to touch on it. We'll do a rate and a post properly. Everybody will have access to this information, and you'll have this podcast to refer back to if you have any questions.
Do you want to touch on per round reseeding?
Well, there
Some people get messed up with that, right?
Yeah. So in terms of reseeding, what happens is basically when you go to the next round, the same thing applies. The highest seed team plays the lowest seed team. That's the way the format works. So if you have 1 versus 8, 2 versus 7, and say for argument's sake, the 7th seed knocks out the 2nd seed, but the 1st seed knocks out the 8th. So now you're going to have the 1st seed is going to play the 7th seed, and everything else will fall in place there. That's the way that I find it the fairest, or like not the I don't want to say easiest way to do it, but that's the way that previous leagues, professional leagues have ran it. So
yeah, because the issue sometimes is like, say, because if you see a bracket, it'll be 1-8, 2-7. So for argument's sake, say 1 wins and 2 wins. Just because 2 is below 1, 1 is not going to play 2. It's going to reseed.
Correct.
So if the 8th team beats, or say the 4th team wins, then 1 will play 4. If, for argument's sake, 1, 2, 3, 4 wins.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. So like I said, exactly. If the 7th seed knocks out the 2nd seed, that 7th seed would move from the bottom of the bracket, and they would move up to the top to play the 1st seed in the 2nd round. Right. So, but that's like I said. If anybody's got any questions regarding that, it is kind of a tricky concept.
Very tricky.
But basically, if you followed any sort of hockey or sports prior to 2014, then you have a good knowledge of how this playoff format works. I think it was 2014 is when the NHL changed their playoff format to the divisions. We didn't use the divisions. We got away from the divisions. We have them there, but that's only in terms of seeding. If you look at your matchups, you play everybody in the conference 4 or 5 times, maybe 6 times. So
6.
So that's all I got to touch on playoffs. Do you boys got any questions that maybe you think that listeners would want answers to with regards to playoffs?
No, not right now. I think later.
Yeah.
Later on when we touch on it a little more.
Yeah. Okay. Moving on from that, since we are halfway through the season, we wanted to touch on a few of the awards that we hand out at the end of the year. I only grabbed 3 of the awards. You know, the top ones: the Art Ross, the Maurice, and the Vezina. We picked up some guys here, and we're looking at them here. First, we're going to touch on the Vezina leaders. Right now, we've got 5 guys that we picked that we think are going to be within the conversation towards the year end. And these are in no particular order. These are just 5 guys that we classified as having more than 10 games played since we're at the 40 games played mark in the season, and they've got exceptional stats in terms of goals against and save percentage. Of course, we've got PatOLeary, who was our guest today on the podcast. He's got 13 games played. He's got a record of 12-0-1 with a 2.00 goals against average and 768 save percentage. We've also got PatOLeary, 19 games played with a record of 15-4, 2.74 goals against average, 749 save percentage. Got Eric Campo, my man out there in Tampa Bay. He's got 11 games played with a record of 11-0, 2.78 goals against average, and a .791 save percentage. Jason Gaudette, he's a guest we got to get on this podcast. We got to get him on here. Jason X, out of Carolina, 20 games played with a record of 18-2 and a 2.35 goals against average and a 765 save percentage. 2.35 GAA for 20 games played that's pretty outstanding in my opinion. And then you've got Ryan Salvi, who's already been a guest on the podcast. Nice kid, young kid, 20 games played, a record of 18-1-1 with a 2.48 goals against average and a 685 save percentage. That's who we've got right now for our Vezina. Why don't we take our predictions here, guys, and who you think is going to come out of that race there? Or do you think there's going to be an unsung maybe that we didn't mention that's going to come out? We'll start with you, Jordan.
Oh man, it's three of the ones are in my division, so I'm not going with them. Much love to you guys, except for you, Pat. I hate you. I'm gonna have to go with Champo.
Yeah. Well, my hope is Champo will continue to play some goalies still.
If he continues to play. If
Yeah.
not, then Jason.
Yeah. Me personally, I'm gonna have to go. I gotta go with Jason. I've seen Jason play. I've never played against Ryan, but for me, Jason's having a phenomenal year. Carolina made a bunch of changes to get themselves a solid squad now, as opposed to where they were at the beginning of the year, and he still got this impeccable record even after the challenges that Carolina had at the beginning of the year.
Mm-hmm.
Patrick, what do you think?
I'm either gonna have to go with Jason
Bias.
or my brother.
Bias.
Honestly.
Well, I've never seen Tyler play.
I've never seen him play.
Well, that's between you two. Listen,
when you become a top team, you will see him play.
Well, why'd you play us at the beginning of the season? Because you thought we were a top team.
Yeah, but I didn't think Tyler was better than me.
Wow.
Let's see. Well, there is an 11-point difference between Arizona and Vegas. So.
Yeah. You win some, you lose some. That's how you play in the playoffs.
Yeah, but when you 0-5 against them, there'd be the 10 points that you need to make up to be even with them.
I mean, I should say I'm 5-0 against them.
Marshyll, who do you think?
Well, I mean, with Arizona long out of the running, I'm going to have to go with Tyler.
I'm going to throw something.
I mean, he's nasty. He's nasty back there.
Don't throw a controller because you guys are out of controllers in Arizona now.
I got plenty.
Well, all right. Well, we'll revisit this in the end of the year and see how right your guys' predictions are. But those are 5 solid goalies, other than fucking Patrick. But hey,
and outside of them 5, we got some really, really good goalies in this league.
There may be an up and comer that we haven't seen that just decides now. Hey, you know what? Fuck it. I'm gonna play goalie because I want to win that Vezina.
Like a lot of these goalies we're talking about have really good teams in front of them. The other goalies, I know you might not have a good team in front of you, but we see you when we play you. You're a good goalie.
Yeah.
Yeah, like just a quick touch here on if you go to MSO and look at these saves, like Dallas goalie with 230 saves.
Yeah, like it's
like that is a boatload of saves. So that
I'm looking at it right now. Even the Ottawa guy, I played on Ottawa before, but even Ottawa, he was top of the league there for a while, and now he's I just seen it here for shots, saves, little harps. Yeah, 192. Like that's facing a lot of rubber.
Yeah, man.
And what this tells me? Oh, look here, Arizona, Alex Gutt, 188 saves. You know what that tells me is Arizona doesn't play any defense, so he's got to play on his head.
Takes a lot.
So
we won 21-2, and he was 500% save percentage in nets with 4 shots. Like,
can we just touch on this? So
tell me not playing defense.
So he has that many saves. So you know what that tells me is the only if they didn't have Zeke, they probably wouldn't have playoff spot.
Right.
That's the way I'm looking at it. Zeke is the GOAT.
Zeke is the GOAT in Arizona. That's the conclusion we've come to today.
The GOAT of smashing controllers and making me angry.
Well, that's what happens when you play Vegas, right? That's all.
Apparently. I almost did it too.
If we move to the Art Ross, this is the player awards, obviously. Running away with that right now seems to be Justin Goalie Gods from out of Tampa Bay. 174 points already this year. He's got his own teammate, actually, Francis Dumoulin, on his heels at 132. Austin Bailey out of Anaheim. He's got 130. Alex Paul, actually, out of Arizona, 129 points. And Jacob Landry, one of the GMs of the Nashville Predators, at 122. And those are your top 5 right now for the Art Ross. And that's going to be a dogfight because those guys are going to want their 4 games a week to try and catch Justin.
Definitely.
So that'll be a huge fight. When you go the Maurice Richard route, you've got Justin Goalie God still has the lead in that, but he does not have the lead by much. He's only 1 goal up on Jacob Landry from Nashville. Justin's got 84. Jacob's got 83. And then you got a little bit of a drop off, but you've got Austin Bailey from Anaheim, Alex Paul again from Arizona with 61 goals. Austin Bailey has 69. And Spencer Million out of Edmonton, actually. So all the firepower Edmonton has. And this guy is to me anyway, he's a relatively unknown. He's got 60 goals so far. And then when you touch on terms of plus minus, again, you've got Justin Lowe, Goalie Gods, basically leading all statistical categories for players. He's got 149 plus minus. He's got followed by Francis with 115. Johnny Bartlett, Silky, also out of Tampa Bay with a plus 94. Bad Brad guy, my teammate and cup winner from Ottawa in season 4. He's running in Edmonton now. He's got a plus 92. And then again, Jacob Landry from Nashville Predators, plus 90. To me, points aside, that shows that these guys have the ability to play some phenomenal defense as well, to be putting up those kind of numbers as well as not getting scored on. These rewards, anybody can come out of nowhere and take them. I'm obviously never going to be in the tops of the leaderboard in any of this stuff, so I tip my cap to all these guys who have this standard of playing ability.
You'll get there one day, buddy.
Oh, I see a Vegas guy on here too, on the third in assist in the league, Matthew Ray, Weather Disaster. Yeah. So those are what we got for the player awards. Obviously, this can all change. To me, I'm going to say that no one's going to catch Justin Lowe for Art Ross. I don't think so anyway, unless it's somebody from his own team, and Francis gets a little jealous and benches Justin just so he can catch him. But I don't know, what do you guys think? Do you think Justin's going to run with it, or is he going to get caught?
He's long gone.
Yeah, I think somebody will make a good push for it.
Yeah, I definitely think so too.
But I mean, it's the game and who you play, and do they play their 4 game against, weaker teams, or do they take on the tougher teams and get the W's?
Mm-hmm.
My opinion, I'd rather throw in some other guys against the weaker teams that are, building chemistry and, trying to get better at the game, especially on my team, against some of the weaker teams. And then I'll keep, trying to beat
Vegas.
Pat. I mean, I don't know what I got to do, but just keep getting better. So it might be a landslide by now, but I think there might be I'm hopeful that there'll be a push.
And it's worth mentioning here, as it looks like we're about to witness it for the first time in our league, is we've got a player that's approaching his 1,000 points in the league.
Ooh.
Jordan Mugford, one of our admins, he's sitting at 937 points right now. So he's 63 points away from claiming that first player in the league to get 1,000 points.
Dang.
So we gotta keep an eye out on him. I know he's always been a solid player, but that's no easy task to have 1,000 points in the kind of competition we have in this league, and he's still putting up numbers routinely. He's got 90 points this year already, and we still got half the season to go. So
that's
for
crazy.
him to put up another 60 points in the rest of the season is probably nothing out of the ordinary when you include playoffs as well, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, so having said that, let's move on to our weekly 3 stars that we put together. Again, we asked that teams put in all their stats prior to 5 p.m. Eastern on Monday, so we can get these guys their shout-outs. If you did, you did great. We pulled these at 5:30, so whatever was there at 5:30 is what we used for our 3 stars. If there were some snubs, we apologize. Please don't yell at us. Go to your owners and find out why you were snubbed. Okay. First star of the week, goalie gods Justin Lowe out of Tampa Bay. 4 games played, 20 goals, 19 assists, 39 points. He averaged 9.75 points per game this week. Second star was Twisted Grave Tommy Zayak from Vegas. 4 games played, 16 goals, 17 assists, 23 points with an 8.25 points per game this week. And third star was Brad O'Heaney out of Edmonton. 3 games played, 16 goals, 13 assists, 29 points. 9.67 points per game this week. Those are solid weeks for any player. I'm lucky to get 40 points in a month, never mind in a week. So,
right.
Top goalie out of Edmonton, out of the West, was OG Trey. Jacob Coam, 4 games played, 2.00 goals against average, and a 742 save percentage. 4 wins, 0 losses. And then out of the East, he's missed the cut almost every week since the season started, but this week he didn't miss the cut. He actually made it, and it's Jason Gaudette, Jason X out of Carolina. He 4 games played, 2.75 goals against average, and a 700 save percentage with 4 wins, 0 loss. 3 wins, 1 loss. He took 1 loss this week, but good to see Jason finally get the award. I know he's missed out a few times this week or this year, so to speak. Sorry, and it's good to see him finally break through there.
Definitely.
So we'll get those posts up and we'll get them their recognition.
Real quick, Adam, I kind of want to touch on some key matchups for this week coming up. Thursday, we got the Devils at Carolina.
Ooh, big game.
Big game. And also Thursday, kind of something I like to throw out to, a couple of my friends, Detroit and Boston. Hippie.
Detroit's on a tear this week. I don't know if you guys looked at Detroit. They're sneakily. Here's that word again. I used that last week too.
That's a good word.
I still love it.
They're sneakily starting to climb up on some teams here, and they're putting some distance between them and other teams.
It's and that game right there is Spence versus Hippie and Matt. We were all on Detroit together, so I think that'll be a fun one to see everybody back at it. And
I think another team we got to give love to that's kind of sneaking on everybody's radar here that we didn't really pay attention to much until the last week or so, and that's Anaheim.
Yeah,
the Anaheim Ducks. When I first saw them this year, we figured, okay, it's not going to be an easy task, but they're actually in a playoff spot now. They stuck in 8th place, and they still got a sub 500 record, but they're coming, boys. Like they got a solid team. They got a solid first line, and I think they're going to be a playoff team.
Definitely, I think so. Friday we have PatOLeary and his boys versus Edmonton. I think that's just me being a little biased going off the division and hoping Edmonton can squeak out a
that's a big game
win.
too. That is a big game.
Yeah, and then Saturday, just looking at teams have pretty good schedules right now. Vegas again, and of course us trying to get the rebound, trying to get a win against Vegas. See if that happens. See what's going to go down. Are you going to play Pat or are you going to play Tyler? What are you going to do?
Well, if you guys get a couple wins, Tyler might get the start, but I doubt it.
We only lost 2 last week. And I was sad.
Yeah, but one of them was to Arizona or to Vegas. Sorry, so
it's going to be every week to Vegas.
Yeah, I know, right? Jesus,
naturally,
Christ.
Right?
Naturally. And then just a personal one on Sunday that really hits me in the heart is Arizona versus the Devils. I have
that's 3 tough. That's 3 tough weeks. I think that's 3 Sundays in a row. You've got a tough matchup in the interconference game, isn't it?
Yeah.
You had Tampa this week, and I think you had Nashville the week before, didn't you?
Well, I had Nashville night before.
All right, you didn't say okay. Sorry.
For me, I've never beaten Mug. I can't. I got close one time. The goalie lagged out, and
I beat Mug once in the World Cup. I got carried to the victory. I'm not even going to take the acclamation or the acknowledgement for that win, but we did beat him. We got our ass smacked the second game. But we did beat him the first game.
100% in my head, and has been since.
Lives rent free in your head. Eh?
I've joined this league. He's been in my head. So
Jordan Monkford lives in rent free in a lot of people's heads in this league.
Yeah. So those are my key matchups to watch. Let's see how it
see how that plays out. Yeah.
Plays out.
Right on. So that's I think that's all we really got for you guys this podcast, unless Patrick's got anything that he wants to drop in here. But
yeah, I do got something.
Okay.
So lately I've been noticing there is quite a bit of activity in the highlights. I'm starting to work on something here, so if you guys want to be getting your highlight videos into this first upload, start sending them in.
Have a sick montage.
Seeing quite a few goalie saves and nice goals. Some, but don't you guys forget big hits, stuff like that. That can all be on highlight reels. Really good defensive plays, anything like that. That can all go in there.
Definitely. I got one more thing. So I think we're still all in quarantine. I just wanted to see how you boys are doing. How are you holding up?
Well, I'm all right, man. I got a lot of things going on. We talked about it in the mid chat the other day, what I got going on, but outside of just the quarantine shit. But it is what it is. So.
It is what it is. I mean, that's what we're here for is someone to talk to, and it's kind of why I wanted to bring it up. Marsh, Pat, how are y'all doing, bud?
It's kind of getting annoying, honestly.
A little bit.
I'm ready to go
Can't
back
stop
to work.
drinking.
I can't stop drinking. Like,
I mean, that's the biggest thing is the intake of alcohol has gone drastically.
Yeah, definitely. Just for me, I'm still doing good. I'm getting my unemployment checks. I'm probably getting more than I made. I'm like, how is this? Marriott hooked us up with, or Georgia or whoever it was hooked us up with like an extra $600 or something. I don't even know. But I'm like, why am I going to go back to 80 hours a week when I can just sit at home and play some video games? But on the plus side, I did do a load of laundry. I washed my shorts, but I'm still wearing them. I haven't changed my shorts in like 19 weeks, but they are washed.
So when you washed them, what did you wear?
I was in the nude.
Okay, that's just what I wanted to know. I just wanted a mental.
There's nobody out here. I have 4.74 acres. Like, but I mean, it's still rough. Especially for me. Like, I need to be that interactive person. I need someone to talk to always, and really like interact with. And I think that's why these podcasts have really helped me, and especially Chell and the league, being able to.
When you don't ditch us. When you don't ditch us.
What?
When you don't ditch us.
When I don't ditch you, correct. Just being able to talk to the guys and practice with the boys, and get on hammered on Saturday night and lose. I don't know what the score was. I couldn't see on the screen. But I think that's just a positive that if you're having some problems, man, say something, reach out to somebody and say something.
We said it last week. We said it again. You may not have met us in person, but you can always send us a message and we'll talk the best we can to you.
Exactly.
Give you our life experts.
Exactly. So that's all I got. Everybody stay safe out there. If you need anything, reach out. Cheers, boys.
Yeah. And we're here for everybody. We know a lot of people are frustrated with what's going on, and we can see it in terms of people and the way they're interacting with each other in the forums and the chats. But just take it easy. Let's play some Chell. Let's chill and enjoy life. If you need us, reach out to us.
I know some states are opening up. Y'all don't have states. Y'all have.
I need the golf courses to open, bro. I don't care about anything else. I need the golf courses to open. They're open in Nova Scotia. They're not open in Ontario.
They got the approval for maintenance.
They got the approval to start. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they haven't opened yet.
Well, we got NASCAR coming back.
NASCAR next weekend.
Yes,
no,
sir.
2 weeks. 17th.
Can't wait to drink a beers and watch fucking cars go around in a circle. Right. Man, I'm stoked.
Left turn. I was gonna turn. He's making another left turn.
Reverse the track. Make it a little more exciting. Everybody go right.
Yeah, there'd be an awful lot of crashes.
Exactly.
Well, that's all we got for today, folks. Obviously, like always, follow us on YouTube. Give us a subscribe if you like what you hear, and try to push this out for us if you guys can. We've got what's our subscription check now, Patrick?
Let's hit
51.
51 still.
Roger.
So we gained 2 since last thing.
Yeah, 2 since last subscription. Yeah,
we got to get this stuff up, guys. You want us to keep doing it?
Let's get it up. Yeah.
Same with the
give
comments.
us a like. Give us a subscribe. Yeah.
We're not getting any comments. I want to hear from you guys. Whatever you guys think. Like we're
ideas of what we can put on the podcast, who we can bring on the podcast. Because we love doing them. We love talking to you guys and getting an insight to how other teams in the league operate. But we need that feedback from you guys too. Definitely. So give us a subscribe. Follow us on Instagram. If you got buddies that are looking to play in a competitive league, let's get them signed up and let's get them on the list for the next auto sign so they can get some of the playoff experience before next season.
Yes, sir.
Anyway, that's all I got. Patrick, Adam, pleasure as always. Jordan, pleasure to talk to you.
Yes, sir.
You guys got any final words?
No, that's it for me.
That's all from me.
All right,
good.
boys.
We'll see you next week.
All right,
Yes.
boys. Take care.
See you next
Peace.
week, boys. Later.
Bye-bye.